You're tuned in to The Thinking Class with Lawrence D. Adams. Let's go.
Salute everyone. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Let's get started. Let me get my camera together. Get to the comments right quick. Here we go. Shout out to you. Good to see you, brothers and sisters. Everybody's listening. Those who are listening in the cloud, trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about today. It's going to be great. So let's get it. Today we're talking about It's Your World. Let me look at the right camera. I've got a whole different camera set up than last week. And let me get into the shot. But it is your world. So let's get that started today. Everything you see in your world is a reflection of you. Is that true or is it false? That's what we're going to talk about today, especially when it comes to the GAME. I'm teaching the backside of the game. I'm not teaching like everyone else teach it. Of course, this is when spirituality and the game combines. You got the thinking class, but we're teaching about that. This is your world. What you see is a reflection of you. Let me put my mouse over here. But what you see, what's going on? What's going on, Trav? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Good to see you. Looking sharp. Appreciate that. Let me get into the camera shot right there. Shout out. So this is your world. So let me break this down. If you were here last week, we know we did a whole treatment on is already done. Now we're talking about that it is your world. This eliminates all excuses. You know, when we teach over here, let me make sure my mic is hot so you hear me loud and clear. You know, when we teach over here that we teach the gospel of responsibility. You can't blame your mama, your cousin, your daddy, your auntie, nobody. You can't blame the black women, can't blame the white women, can't blame anybody. It's your world. I want to make sure we get this laid down. I'm not going to be long. I'm going to say this. It is your world. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. We're looking for today's sponsor for today's show. I'm going to put you up there. Today's sponsor. Who will be today's sponsor for today's show? I'm going to make sure we highlight you, those who are going to sponsor the show for today. But it's your world. That means that you have supreme responsibility of what takes place in your world. I know the narratives that you're hearing on social media as far as with the black woman, as far as when it goes with the modern woman. The women are this way, and that woman is that way. At the end of the day, it is your world. What you see is a reflection of you. You know it's going to be story time of this, but I'm also looking for the sponsor of today's show for the thinking class. But it is your world. We have a bad habit on these social media streets to blame everybody, but we take no responsibility. Let me get comfortable in my seat. We have a bad responsibility. We have a bad thing in these social media streets to blame everybody, but we take no responsibility for what shows up in our world. Matter of fact, many of us have not even been told that it is our world. We've been told what? It's the government, it's the white man, it's the black man, it's the red man, it's the yellow man, it's these women these days, they ain't got it together. We look for the blame everywhere else instead of looking on our own lap and looking in the mirror. You cannot blame anyone for why you are not happy. Let me say that again. You cannot blame anyone why you are not happy. Got to get in the shot correctly. Woo. There we go. You can't blame anyone for why you are not happy in your world. I know it's sensational and it's fun to talk about what these women are doing in these modern day women. They don't want to do nothing. They for the streets. They ain't about nothing. At the end of the day, who are you bringing into your world and why is she reflecting you? It's your world. What I really wanted to type, it's your world, player. It's your world. The moment you realize that it's your world and you take responsibility, then you would choose who's going to be in your world and who's not going to be in your world. Then you would choose who's going to be a part of your act or the part of your play and who's not going to be a part of your play or the part of your stage play. Most men, majority of men crying and whining about the women here in the United States in the modern world doesn't realize that they have options and it is their world to choose on what they will do. Plain and simple. I know you don't want to hear this. I know it's not popular, but let me help someone out. When I was at a place in my life when nothing was going right, the first people I wanted to blame for years was my parents. Why was my mother like this? Why was my father like this? Why wasn't this situation like that? The first thing I wanted to do was blame my parents for what was taking place in my life. If I would have went to a better school, if I would have completed college, if I would have went to this situation, guess what would have happened? I would have had a better life. If I would have saved money, and what happened was I never took responsibility that I was the one who was causing everything that happened in my life. Let me say that again. I never took responsibility for what was taking place in my life. When I had no game and nobody knew my name, I always wanted to blame everything on the outside of me for why I didn't have the right job, why I didn't have the right career, why I didn't have the right women in my life or woman in my life, why the relationships didn't work. I always was looking on the outside of me and saying, man, if I went to the right college, if only if I completed something in school or if I got the right promotion. I was always looking on the outside of me for why things wasn't working. I'll be the first one. I'll raise my hand. I'll be the first one. I was always looking on the outside of me for why things wasn't flourishing and going for me. Then, as life went on, I was living a mediocre life because I was blaming everybody else for what took place in my life. Why I shopped at particular grocery stores, why I wore different clothes is because I was the person, whether anybody wants to admit it, who was always blaming somebody else for what was taking place in my life. And guess what happened? At the end of the day, no one cared. At the end of the day, no one cared. No one told, and I can't blame anybody that they didn't tell me that it was my world. But then I had to wake up and say, I had to come into accountability that, LDA, as cool as you look, beard or no beard, clothes or no clothes, it come down to you. What are you going to do about your life? Who are you going to settle? Who are you going to be with? What are you going to eat? I was looking for everything on the outside of me to make me happy. If you have been there, I know people done dropped and came over, they thought it was going to be something else. I was looking for everything on the outside of me to make me happy. I thought going to the right party, if I was to join a particular fraternity, if I was to go to the particular church, if I was to get if I can get this certain type of game, that was going to do it, not realizing that at the end of the day, I was the cause of every good and bad thing in my life. It wasn't the devil and it wasn't God. It was my decisions that I made that were not right. That's what I mean, that it's your world. I know it's not a popular, I know most people don't want to hear that. They want to hear something, oh man, give me the game. I'm giving you the raw, unadulterated game right now. Anybody who's in the game know it comes back to them. If the young lady leaves the track, you got to look back at you. What did I do? What do I need to adjust? But I was at that point in my life where I was on the blame game. I looked at everything around me and said, you know what? It's because of you I didn't make it. And it's because of you I didn't do it. And guess what people did? They didn't give a care about what was going on in my life. Why should they? Because I didn't. This is what I mean. It's your world. What you see is reflecting back to you. Retract the steps, but yeah. I'm telling you, this world, when you realize it's your world, it changes everything. And I really want you guys to get this, to understand this. When you realize it's your world, you don't worry about if the woman makes you happy or not. Uh-oh. Let me say that again for all those who want to get game. You don't worry if you don't worry if the woman is happy or not. Because at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you are what? Happy. That's the real game. Your happiness is not, let me say this, and I'm going to say it real clearly, and I want you to get it and type it in the chat room. My happiness is not found on the outside of me. My happiness is not found on the outside of me. Let me back up because I'm slipped and fell. My happiness is not found on the outside of me. Put that in the chat room. I want you to really get this. My happiness is not found on the outside of me. Anytime someone can control your happiness, whether you happy or whether you sad, they will control you in every area of your life. Because all I got to do is push the trigger. My happiness is not found on the outside of me. Let me say that again. My happiness is not found on the outside of me. That's why I'm saying it's your world. But let me give a clear definition why I said my happiness is not found on the outside of me. Your happiness is found on the inside of you, and it has nothing to do with what? what's going on around you. Once you realize that, guess what you're going to attract? Happy people. When you realize that your happiness is not found on the outside of you, but that is found on the inside of you, what you're going to realize is that you begin to attract happy people because why? You are happy. The world on the inside of you. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show today. He started off. Thank you so much. He first sponsor for today's show. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show today. Thank you. Appreciate that. First sponsor for today's show. Deb, you want to definitely come in and sponsor the show today? Appreciate that. I'm gonna leave that up. My happiness is not found on the outside of me, it's found on the inside of me. That's why I can say, and you can say, I'm not moved by what goes on. Let me help somebody else. That's why we can say over here in the thinking class, we're not moved by the modern woman. If a lady's listening, you're not moved by the modern man because your happiness is not determined by what they do or what they do not do. Your happiness is found where? Within you. That's why I'm saying it's your world. It's your what? It's your world. Now we got to define what I mean by it's your world. I'm talking about two worlds. We're talking about the external world, and we're also talking about the internal world. The world that I want to focus on is your internal world, where you realize that you're happy, you're satisfied, you got everything that you need right now. You have everything that you need, what? Right now. Therefore, when you walk in the external world or the outer world, you're not moved by anything. If the girl rejects you, that's on her. Because how can you feel rejected when rejection is not in you? How can you feel rejected? Well, she said this to me. She didn't say that to me. She said that to her. I know who I am. I'm at peace of who I am. That count. I'm at peace with who I am. This is the thing. That's this whole thing. I'm looking for a woman who could be my peace. No, I don't care what they say on these social media streets. No. That's too much power to give to anyone, and especially to give to a woman that's in your life. If you're looking for a woman to give you a peace, that means all you're going to find is that she at any time can take your peace. Let me say that again. If you believe these social media streets with these men saying this and these guys saying this on these podcasts, I'm looking for a woman who can be my peace. She gonna be my peace, or I can lay my head down there. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you from experience. If you don't have peace within you already, no matter what she, he, whoever you want to be with will rob you of your peace. All they got to do is get upset at you and get mad, and your world is all messed up because why? You decided to place your peace in somebody else's hand. It's your world, player. What you going to do? It's your world. It is your world. It's your world. So stop looking on the outside of you, which you should have on the inside of you. Let me get some claps for that myself. Stop looking on the outside of you, which you should have on the inside of you. This is how you lose in the game, because you're looking on the outside of you for something that you should have yourself first. You should not be looking on the outside of you for something that you should have on the inside of you first. If I have peace, guess what I'm going to attract? But peace. If I have turmoil, guess what I'm going to attract? but turmoil. So if we were to look at this correctly, if we were to judge this, say, with the modern woman, let's use this as an example. Who are they really reflecting? Who are the modern woman as we see it today, and as we see it on social media, and then we have dealt with some of them? Who are they really reflecting? And why are they reflecting or even attracted to come into your world? As much as men say women are for the streets, there's a lot of you dudes who are for the women who are for the streets. Let me say that again. As much as a lot of dudes say, man, these women for the streets, man, they ain't no good. They always cheating. They always doing what they're doing. They always doing this. They are reflecting the perception of the people giving them. Correct. I don't know what's wrong with these women. The women are only reflecting of how they see themselves. And also, why are you attracted to the women that are for the streets? If it's your world, why you keep attracting them? Well, there, you know what, man? I like that little crazy girl, because when it comes down to doing the ABC, she a little wild in the bed. Yeah, I understand. But why are you attracting that type of woman? When you change the perception of who you are in your world around you will begin to change. When you change the perception of your inner world, the world around you will begin to change. There's no need to try to change the modern world, to try to change people around you. Let me help somebody out, because they've been doing this. There's no need to try to change the world around you. Stop trying to give game to people who don't want to listen. Stop trying to save people who don't want to be saved. Stop trying to correct people who don't want to be corrected. Stop trying to lead somebody who don't want to be led. The principle goes like this, and everyone has heard this many times, whether you agree with it or not. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But also, when the teacher is ready, his students will appear. This goes for everything in your life. When you are at the place of peace, everyone around you will become at peace. When you are at the place of turmoil, I don't like myself, guess what will happen? Everyone around you will reflect that. Let me get a little deeper in this, because I want to hit some things home. I want to hit this hard. If you're in a relationship or dealing with someone, many times y'all better catch this. Many times relationships only reveal what we have not dealt with in ourselves. That's why they say marriage is hard. Marriage is, it's work. The only thing that you're working on is how you see yourself. If you were to do the survey of all the women for the men that you dealt with, and all the women and all the men you dealt with, you will find out about yourself. You will find out about who you really are. See, nobody wants to do that for real. We talk a good game on social media, but a relationship reveals your insecurities, your doubts, your unbeliefs about you, even your hatred about you. How you don't like your body. How you don't think you don't got a game. Yeah, there you go. We are the common denominator. Relationships reveal areas in you that you don't want to deal with. It's funny because, shout out to Mr. Lucario. I listened to his show. I listened to the shorts. And I hear these guys calling in, man, I went over this girl's house and she did all this and she did all that and I don't know what to do. And I'm laughing with Lucario and Steve the Dean and the rest of them. I realize that the issue ain't the girl. It's you, boo. It's you, playboy. It's you. You don't realize that she's only reflecting who you are. People know who they can get over on. People know, they can tell, oh, I bet not mess with him. They may have met him the first day or met her the first day. They know, you know what? Something about them, I know not to play around with them. Why? Because we are constantly reflecting who we are onto the people around us. And they decide to play in our playground. This is the real game. That's why I've said, I've coined it here. The only game that you play is the game you play in yourself. Let me say that again. Shout out to the brothers. The game never lies. The game never lies. The only game that you play is the game that you play on yourself. Let me say that because I want you to really get this. That's why I'm saying it's your world. It's your world. The only game that you really play is the game that you play on yourself. The only issues that you really have is the issues that you have with yourself. All the people around you do is reflect to you where you have, either they reflect your love or dislike about you. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Y'all people say they want the game. That's why the game is not sold. The game is not told, it's sold. Because it's a hard pill to swallow. When you got to look in the mirror and say, whoa, 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 whoa. Everything around me is reflecting me. The issues I have is not them. It's me. The reason why I'm not happy, I want to blame her. I want to blame my job. I want to blame. You realize, wait a minute. It's reflecting back on me. I am the common denominator in this. We're also looking for somebody to be the sponsor. We got the first sponsor. We need some more sponsors for this today's show. I want you to really get this. I really want you to understand this. When people say that there's pee in the dating pool, you remember they're looking in the dating pool and seeing themselves. When people say, oh man, it's urine in the dating pool, hey, no good, man, and ain't no good. All they're doing is reflecting back to themselves who they are. So next time somebody comments that, like, oh, okay, great, funny, you're seeing yourself. You are just seeing yourself. When you realize it's your world and that the world on the inside of you is always reflecting on the outside of you, you begin to change, not the people around you. You begin to change who you are as an individual. Examples, LDA. Give an example. I mean, I'm glad you asked. If it seemed like you dealing with women and they always, they're always saying, well, it's like you don't love me. And they become needy and all like that. You need to look in you. Why you attracted women that are needy? They always need love. Could it be that you have not settled in yourself that you are enough, that you love you? That's the real catch here. When you understand that it is not them, that is you, you will radically change your life. If you want to see some good game executed, execute the game on you. If you want to see people, you want to see things around you begin to transform. Somebody sending me something, KNG. If you want to see things around you transform, begin to transform how you see yourself. The world, if I respect myself, Uh-oh, somebody caught it. I'm gonna get these two comments because they're really good. Take accountability and responsibility, the consequences that will follow. Thank you, Eddie Day. If I respect myself first, others will follow. Thank you so much. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key. That's why I'm saying it's your world. But most people don't want this kind of game. They want the game where they blame everything around you. They blame the women. It's the American women. I'm gonna tell you what the real issue is. The real issue is the real debate that we're fighting with. The things that's stopping us from moving forward financially, in relationships, and everything that we do is our belief system or our perceptions, beliefs about what we see. The moment you change your belief about everything around you, your world will begin to change. The moment you begin to see that women just love who I am, they see me as the prize. You don't need to announce it out of your mouth. You say it to yourself. Guess what's going to happen? The world will begin to treat you as the prize. I'm saying this. When you realize that it starts with you, I'm telling you, man, it's going to radically change who you are and what you deal with. If you were to go back and look over your life, you will see that if you look back over your life and the people in your life, the people you chose to sleep with, you realize that it was always you. You can't say it's the devil. You can't say it was God. It was always you and your belief systems about that. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, let me know in the chat room. Put a number 1 in the number 1 in the chat room. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, this is the reason why I've said this before. You can take $1 million from a millionaire. Within 3 weeks to 6 months, he will be a millionaire again. Why? Because in his inner world, he's always a millionaire with money or without money. You can take all the pimps, women, for y'all like hearing stuff like that. You can take all the pimps, women, but guess what? Somehow, some woman gonna walk past them and recognize that's a pimp, and I'm out here no hope. I need to get with him. You can take all the preachers' congregation, but if he's a preacher, he's going to draw somebody who's going to be a congregant to him. Why? Because we're always reflecting on the outside of us who we are. When you do that, you begin to elevate people around you for who they are. You stop looking on the outside of you for happiness. You stop looking for the outside of you for people to bring you pleasure. Remember, she's coming into your world, player. This is the unadulterated, pull the sheets back, transformational game for real. I could tell you, do 5 steps and then you this will work. Do this and say this to her. No. The moment you settle down and realize who you are, you don't have to convince anybody to be in your life, because guess what? I am life. I am with life. I know this may be controversial, but it is what it is. This is what separates the men from the boys and the girls from the women. Because you take accountability, but you realize that you're always reflecting onto the world who you are. This is this. If you would have asked me, I wish I'd known this before. This is the real game. I remember I was in story time. I was in a relationship years ago. And I kept wondering what was the issue that we got along so good, but it was just that one thing that was just like, eh. So the first inkling I wanted to do was I wanted to blame her. I'm like, man, something wrong with this girl. I'm about to dump her, or I'm about to leave, or I'm about to end the relationship. But it always became this one issue that kept coming up with us. So finally, I said, let me think about it. Why is this constantly coming up with us? And that's when I realized that it wasn't her why this issue was coming up, but it was a reflection of me that I have something I didn't deal with within myself. And once I began to accept me for me, guess what she did? She began to accept me for me. The thing that was holding me back was, in that particular scenario, I did not fully accept who I was. What I mean by that, who I was, what I liked, and what I did not like. The moment I decided, or I was clear on who I was, what I like, what I did not like, and what I went for and did not go for, guess what happens? Guess what happened? It almost was like magical. It resolved the issue between me and her. It was like, man, why didn't I see this before? It's because I was not clear and I did not accept myself. Some of the issues you having in the game ain't the women, ain't your location. Because some of y'all Negroes go into other countries and mess up Colombia, Medellin, Cartagena, Cali, Brazil, Sao Paulo. You mess up Dominican Republic. You mess up over in other places. It's because you constantly taking who you are over there. And you think that you get over there that the women's going to change you. No, it is you changing you. If I just get over to South America, if I can go to Brazil, obrigado. If I can get over there to Brazil, if I can get over, you think that your location is going to make a difference if you have not changed your location on the inside of you. That's why Pookie and Ray Ray on them messing. They're taking their warped mentality, the way they see themselves, over into another country. Hey, I actually got love for I'm not against it. My thing is when guys go over there going on to different countries, thinking that the country is going to change them, if they have not changed their mind and have not changed their world. A lot of guys go different places. There was a simp over here, and now they see a woman that's not a 10, but a 15, and now they're really simping. Why? Because they have not changed the world inside of them. They have not changed their belief systems. So you go over there and mess up. I have nothing against Mexicans. I have not against nothing in the Latin community over in Europe or wherever you go, Africa. None. I'm all for it. I wish men would travel. If it was a scripture, I wish that men would travel. I wish men would exercise their options and go. But you can't say that you leaving solely because of the women here if you have not dealt with the issues of who you are as a man. If you have not dealt with the issues of who you are as a man. All you're going to do is take your crazy, messed up self over to another culture and another country and act a fool. And then you're going to say, man, it's the women over there. They are crazy in Africa. They are crazy in Latin America. No, bro, it's you because you attracted that. That's what game comes in. When you realize that the real issue you need to deal with is the issue of who you are and how you perceive in your world. Yes, there's some great women here. Yet, let me say this. Let me get very clear. Yes, is there some great women here in the United States of these called America? There's women, great women in other countries. But if you don't change your perception, you will take your stink, messed up mentality over to another country and jack it up. Just being very clear, very honest, keep it 100% how it is. Because you have not changed your self-image or your self-concept and your belief systems. Just keep it 1000%. You have no respect for the other culture. And you're just going down there because you're thinking with your dingling, you ain't thinking with your higher nature. So don't get me started that I'm trying to come against. I don't want nobody coming. He's coming against the passport, bro. I'm not coming against them at all. Actually, I'm glad they're doing it because they're shaking up the internet and they're shaking up our perceptions of what we think what is options. So I'm all for it. I give them an A+. I'm glad they're doing it. Men been doing it since the beginning of time. All they did was classify it now as passport bros, and now everybody has a problem with it. Men have been traveling around the world since the beginning of time. So if you have a problem with that, you need to check yourself. But if you don't change your own mentality, if you don't change your own mind, if you go over there with a simp mindset, guess what you're going to do? You're going to be simping over there. Oh, man, she was pretty. Look at her. Man, she a 15. And not realizing that time is slipping away. That's why I'm saying it's your world. It's which you reflect on the inside of you is being reflected on the outside of you. I'll give an example. I gave this example many times before. I'm gonna give it again for y'all to hear. It was a long time ago. I remember reading this in the book, and I know of a real live incident where this happened. But this lady was going to church, and she was praying for a husband who was an alcoholic. Every time she would go to prayer meeting, she'd be praying for her husband, John. John, I pray that God, you will save John. And Lord Jesus, help John to get off that alcohol. He's an alcoholic. And so every day, then she got brave and she heard a preacher say, put some oil on his shoes. So when he walked, before he left the work, she sprinkled a little bit of oil in his shoes and he walked off to work, but he came back drunk again. Then she heard another preacher say, get a cloth, and when he put it under this pillow, when he sleeps, that alcohol demon is going to go. So she did all of that, and John began to drink even more. Matter of fact, he doubled down and started drinking. He started drinking that Red Irish Rose. He started drinking even more. And she started praying even more. Then finally said, God, I've been praying for these past 3 months. Why haven't you saved John? Why haven't you got him off that alcohol? Stop being an alcoholic. And she was praying and praying and praying. God, please save my husband, John. And guess what happened? John didn't change. He started drinking even more. He comes staggering through the house, falling on the floor, and he still was an alcoholic. Finally, she went to prayer. And she stopped. She said, God, I done prayed. I done fasted. I done put oil. I done put a prayer cloth underneath the pillow. I don't know what's going on. Why you want to do nothing? So God said, you find a way to listen to what I'm about to tell you? She's like, whatever you say, do, God. Whatever you say, do. Good. What's going on, Shalonda? Whatever you say, do this. Saved by man, John. Save John. He's an alcoholic. I don't care what you do. This save John. He needs you, baby Jesus. In the manger on the cross, he needs you. So finally, God answered our dear sister and said the issue is not John and his alcoholism, it's you. And she was shocked. She said, well, God, he's the one drinking and I'm the one praying and reading the Bible and praying for him. God said, the issue is not your husband being an alcoholic. The issue is you. So she got quiet and wiped away her tears from her eyes. She said, but God, I thought you said it was him. God said to her, our dear sister, it's you. I need you to pray not about his alcoholism. I need you to forgive him. And I need you to forgive yourself. She said, what does that have to do with him being an alcoholic? So she's having a dialogue. She tried to debate with God. What does that got to do with him being an alcoholic? So finally, she began to pray for herself. She began to forgive herself. She began to love herself. She began to really take care of herself. While this is going on, our dear brother John, which is her husband, woke up one morning without anybody saying it and lost the taste for anything of libations. He's lost the taste for anything for being an alcoholic. He said, I don't know what came over me, but I just don't feel like drinking anymore. And our dear sister was so happy. Oh, thank you, Jesus. All right, that's wonderful. The moral of the story is this. The issue was not John's alcoholism. It was what was unresolved in his wife that she has not dealt with. And it was reflecting on him. Let me say that again. The issue was not him being an alcoholic. It was because she had not resolved some things inside of her, and it was reflecting in her world with her husband being an alcoholic. I read the story of that happening, and I know of a couple here in Cleveland where that has happened. Why am I saying it's your world, brothers, sisters? Because while you're trying to change the world, like our dear sister was doing in the story, the real issue is that you need to change who you are on the inside of you. And then the world will begin to change around you. If you want to know the real game, I'm saying it again. The real game is not what you play on others, is what you play on yourself. Many of you are trying to change the modern woman. You're trying to change the modern man. These men ain't for the streets. These women for the streets. You complain, whine about everything around you, but you have not changed your perceptions and you have not changed your beliefs about who you are as an individual. You're fighting and debating with people who don't even know you in your mind. If you want to have a healthy relationship, start having a healthy relationship with yourself. Don't be like the woman who is praying for her dear husband, John, for him to change, and you have not changed the issues inside of you. I'm talking to someone right now. I'm down your street, knocking on your door. I'm looking you almost in the face and saying, what are you going to do about you? Who are you going to blame now? Who are you going to say is the fault? Who's at fault now? Because it's all a reflection of you. It's all a reflection of who you are. You are constantly reflecting to the world who you are. We think that it's if the guy had the money, he get the women. I know guys that were broke. I'm broke as a joke. What I mean broke as a joke, they ain't had no money. You know, some of them even had a little welfare card. But guess what they were doing? They were getting women. Why? Because their image of who they are, how they see themselves, but they get women all the time. It always starts in you. So you got to think, have you completely accepted who you are? Some of y'all are looking for love. Like they said, we said this before, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love. You're looking for love for everyone else. You're looking for game everywhere else when you have not realized that the true love that you need to have is for yourself. The moment you begin to sincerely accept and love who you are, the world will begin to love you. They can't help it. They say, I don't know why. It's something about you, you're a cool person because you're cool with yourself. When you begin to sincerely accept, accept yourself, guess what happened? The world will begin to accept you. I was doing that this morning. Some things I needed to accept about myself. So I'm being very transparent here. I said, wait a minute. Am I cool about some things? Or I'm a little on the edge? Mm. You low key talking to me. This is confirmation, man. I talked with someone and they told me the same thing. Wow. Yeah. I had to go and say, I have to accept who I am. Y'all looking for validation from everybody around you, confirm who you are, and you have not validated yourself. You have not given yourself the gold ring. You have not given your own self for the ladies the pearls. You looking for everyone else to validate that you are who you are. When have you accepted who you are? When you do, the world will begin to accept you. That's why I'm saying you reflect what you see. It's your world. So I want you to think about this. If you want love in your life, you got to realize I am love. If you want money in your life, I am money. If you want some good loving in your life, I'm good loving. You stop looking for the world to give it to you and you give it to yourself. He that haveth should be given, and he that haveth not should be taken away. He that have first within him should be given to him. He that does not have it should be taken away. Let me break that on a little bit because I've been studying that scripture for a long time. The person that has it in themselves and they're settled, we'll use this, I have love. I am love. Love will be given to him. The person that is constantly seeking for love will never, ever, ever, ever find love. And if they do find somebody if they do find somebody, say, well, I love you a little bit, they're always going to be working for that person love. He that has game should be given more game. He that does not have game will be taken away from them. Do you understand? I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. When you settle in your world that is already done, that I have everything that I need and want, I'm no longer in need or want, I got it already. This is the principle that most guys miss when it comes to the game. Women can smell when you're needy or you want to have sex. He didn't want to have sex. Why? Because you're in a place of need and want. When you're in a place of, I don't need it, abundance mindset. Thank you, True Savage. When you're in a place, I don't need it, whatever, guess what's going to happen? It's like women just start throwing it at you. Hey, what? When you have it on the inside of you, it gravitates to you. Most guys get on social media, look or on YouTube, looking for game and looking, what do I do to get this woman, and not realizing that you realize that how to get a woman is to have a woman. Please, y'all better please pick up what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. I'm not telling you to go cheat on nobody. I'm not telling you to go, have an extramarital affair. I'm not saying that. When you have somebody and you're not looking, it seems like let's put it this way to help somebody out, because people don't want to get what I'm picking up, what I'm putting down. When you get into a relationship, it seems like women, or you get into a relationship, everybody who is thinking about yeah, you in a relationship? Oh, wow. I always liked you. I always thought your teeth was always white. I always thought you was cute. I just didn't want to shoot my shot in your DM. I was, and you're like, dog, soon as I get into a relationship, now you want to show up. And I did like you before I got into a relationship, but now you want to show up. Why? Because you're no longer in the place of need or want. You don't care because you got somebody. Everybody understand that? Put a number 2 in the chat room. If you understand what I just said and you work it, you'll have everything in your life. If you understand what I just said in the chat room, put a number 2 in the chat room. You ever notice, I'm gonna make sure I got this, I said it very clearly and precise. When you are not looking and you're in a relationship, it seems like everybody wants to be in a relationship with you. The girl that you wanted to be with, but you chose to be with somebody else, is like, hey, boo. Hey, big head. Why? Because you're no longer in the place in your world of being in need or want. You're no longer searching. You're not on social media apps. You're not out there on the hunt, because you know what? Hey, I got it. I got it. And it's amazing when I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I got married, I put that ring on. It was like a magnet. It's not a signal. Could you go further into that, the polarity behind that? Sure. The Bible is full with scriptures that proves that people who ask and know they have already possess what they want. Correct. It was crazy. I got married. It's like it wasn't so much to see. This is the part you got to understand, the game side of it, or the spiritual side of it. When I was at the place of no longer searching, no longer looking, I was satisfied. So for y'all help, because I was married, I was satisfied sexually. Guess what's gonna happen? It drew people in. I remember I was, Lord, baby Jesus. It was about a month or two before y'all. I don't know. Y'all want to hear this story time? I don't know. Y'all want to hear this story time? Let me know y'all want to hear this story time. Let me know in the chat when y'all want to hear this story time. Because it did happen. I just got to change the name and where it happened at. Let me know in the chat when y'all want to know where yeah. So it was about 2 months in. I was 2 months away from walking down the aisle. And it was another lady who was also interested in me. Yeah, speak your mind. Tell us this is. So I already proposed to of course, she was going to be my fiance. And we, I had, she had the ring. But we were all in the same circle in this particular, how can I say this, organization. We're here for, yeah. So we were here for, And I worked in this particular area where they had a food court. Thank you. I appreciate that, Magic Marcel. So I went to this spot. So I happened to see the girl from the organization. I was like, hey, how you doing? Carrie? She's like, hey, how you doing? And it was that energy between each other, but she knew I was engaged and I knew I was engaged, but it was that kind of energy between me and her. And I was like, oh no, whoa. So she's like, oh, what you doing down here for lunch? Yeah, I'm down here for lunch. I was way slimmer than this. I was way slimmer. I was like almost like a rail. So yeah, I'm going down here for lunch. I'm gonna go to Old Charlie's. She said, I'm going to Old Charlie's too. So we end up going. She's in front of me, so I'm chopping it up. We exchange some verbs and nouns, and we're going through the whole thing. And she ordered her food, and I get mine. And because energy was so intense between me and her, I end up flipping my food and dropping it on the floor. I said, "This is crazy. This is crazy. Who this is? This the devil? What's going on?" So I had to get my food, order some more food, whatever the case may be. We sat down, but it was this awkward energy, not awkward, but this energy like, ooh, I want to kiss you. You know, that kind of energy like that. You want to kiss, but wait a minute, I'm engaged. I can't do that. So I said, ate my food. She talked, we talked, and I realized, I said, you know what? This is crazy. I end up leaving and going back to work, and she ended up going her separate way. But it was interesting because it was the moment I decided to get engaged. Yeah, that sexual tension, man. It was you can cut it with a butcher knife. And she was nice looking. And then this the thing, she was my type. Let me walk away from that. Y'all understand? She was my type. I got a type. And she fit the type. She was soft-spoken. She ate her food like she was Princess Diana. She had the body type. I have a certain body type. She had a certain body type. I'm not gonna say it on here. Only people who really know me know with that body. She had a certain body type, and she was just real feminine. Man, I try not to walk away, because my pants I don't know what kind of pants at home, but I had on, but they got stiff. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I drank that lemonade like it was, oh my God. But it was that tension between us. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, dog, 2 or 3 months ago, I just got engaged. And my mind is thinking, let's be very honest, I wanted to hit. Y'all gonna want to tell the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth. I wanted to hit. I wanted to be like Keith Sweat. I wanted to find out how deep is her love. And what happened was, that didn't happen. I walked away, and I did get up and married. But my point is this: it was the moment that I decided, I'm gonna get married. I'm leaving everybody alone. I'm not for the streets anymore. That's when the streets say, well, it wasn't so much street. That's when the streets, the curb, people on the bus stop, people in the building, women everywhere start gravitating toward me. Not just young, even old. My point is, I want you to get the principle of this. Is when I was not in a place of need, not in a place of want, guess what happened? They showed up. Now, when I got married, oh my God. When I got married, let's put it this way. When I got married, oh my God, help me. Help me. It was like someone had put some pheromones on me or put something on me, and these women were coming out of the blue. People leaving notes, people, People with no panties on, all kind of stuff like that. All kind of. I'm trying to say what I'm saying without saying it, being real cool. Is my son saying something? Oh, okay. Oh, he got a award. Yeah, it was crazy. These, when I got married, when they got on that ring, I mean, black, white, I don't care what, they were on like white on rice. My point is saying this, I want you to get this. When I got to the place of need and want, when I wasn't chasing women, I wasn't looking for women, guess what happened? They showed up. Because why? I had everything I needed already. That's the principle most people in the game don't get. This is how it works. So if you want the game to work for you, you got to get in a place that you already got it. You already got it. I already got it. That's my son sending me. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And I'm saying I'm trying to give the story PG as much, and not trying to go to LDA of the dark where it gets raw. I'm not trying to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, be real honest too, because most guys are not gonna be honest at this age. I'm about to be 52. Oh, my birthday coming in March 18th. I'm about to be 52. I'm not gonna say that it was easy. I don't care what nobody say, especially when you've been out there and I've been for the streets. I'm not gonna say it was easy. I'm not gonna even say that I didn't mess up. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to none of you. I don't have to lie. I don't have to have nothing to hide. I did not do everything that was right in my marriage. Just be very clear. So ain't nobody, well, LDA, you did this, you shouldn't. No, I'm talking from 52 years of being on this earth, 52 spins around this earth. I fell for the streets. The kitty cat grabbed me and took me down and put me in a headlock. Yeah, I did. Because I didn't understand this principle that I want you to get in the game. I was driven by my lower nature. I was driven by, the thought of having something else that I thought was going to be better. I was driven by, this is cool, but I got this. Look at this over here. I was always searching for the next and not realizing when I had the best. That's the real game. It's when you're not driven by your lower nature, but you're driven by your higher nature, spirit, and your mind, that you make proper decisions. That's what real players do. That's what real men in the game do. They're driven by their higher nature. No, I didn't do everything that was right in that marriage. And then turn around and got married again. I'm saying this because I don't want y'all to walk down the same street that I walked down. And most guys don't get that. That's why I'm teaching you this principle. He that hath should be given more. He that haveth not should be taken away. Transparency, thank you. Transparency breeds what? Transformation. And that's all I'm about here on this show. It's about transformation and real life stories. I changed around some events, and so people don't know, because I still got connections on certain people, but that's the reality of it. I was not, no. Then I jumped around and got married again. What? I said, what the man, what are you thinking? Because I was looking for love on the outside of me and not looking for the love that I should have had on the inside of me. I thought that I have these many women that's going to make me a player. It's going to prove that I'm about this life. That don't prove that you're about this life. What proves you about this life is that you are the life. 52 years of this, come on, man. I got some stories for you. But I'm gonna say something I did. I always talk about Atlanta. Something I did when I was in Atlanta. Now I was I was, by the time I got to Atlanta, divorced, whatever the case would be, I was single. So I knew this principle. Man, I know it's about to be sundress season. Stay strong, brothers. Y'all sundress season gonna get you. It's going them sandals and sundresses, baby. Watch out. It's gonna knock on your damn sundress season. I got some stories. But I'm gonna tell you, since I work this principle, I'm talking about you reflect what you see. It's your world. And I'm talking about he that have it should be given, and he that have it not should be taken away. I knew this principle, but I didn't understand it. As within, so without. Correct. And so what I did was, when I lived in Atlanta, and I was divorced. My cousin was like, man, we got to get out and go kick it, man. I was like, oh, man, I'm just going to chill. I got my little apartment there. I lived at that place I lived in was Plantation. It's called Plantation Ridge. And I lived in Marietta, Georgia. And I'm there, I don't want to go out, cuz. No, cuz, you got to go out. You family. So I go out. But what I did was, what I did. I said, this is what I said. I'm not going out to get any chicks. I'm not going out to get any numbers. Already have women. Y'all ain't gonna get this, man. Y'all ain't gonna get this. Peep this game I'm about to say. Let me get over here. Let me move over here. I can live with this. When I went out, we went to it's called Vegas Nights. And we went to some places down in Midtown. And we went to 112. And I went in with the mindset that I already have women. So I wasn't like on the hunt. I wasn't all like that. I went on the hunt. I went in there cool, confident, maybe got me a little Chardonnay and chill. You know what happened. They just start gravitating. Ooh, what is it about you? You're not like the other guys. Of course I'm not like the other guys because I'm not sniffing after you. I had in the mindset that I already had women, not just one, women. And that worked every single time. Let me read these comments because y'all going in. Let me read this comment right because I think it's a good comment. Now that makes sense when you say your external is the reflection of your external, correct? That quote LD is spot on. Many people don't realize they already possess all within for the ones that have and have more. Correct. Plural. I went out there with a mindset I already had women. Not just one. Not the one-itis. But this is the thing. It wasn't for you to understand. It wasn't a physical fact, but it was an internal fact that I had women. Y'all didn't catch them when I'm putting down. This goes for money. This goes for jobs. This goes for anything that you're trying to do. I had the internal. I got women. Yeah, I got women. Yeah. I went. I didn't wear hats like that then. I had a little bit of hair, little brush waves. And I got women. Yeah. So I wasn't really pressed about women or getting numbers. And you know what happened? I was singing Ludacris song. I got friends in different area codes and different area codes. I got friends in different area codes and different area code. That was my song. I got friends. Why? Because that was my internal world. I got friends. Y'all know the real words. I got friends in different area codes and different area codes. But this works also when you think about it. You apply for a job and you want to get a job. I want to get a job. The moment you get that job, it seems like every job especially the job you really wanted, calls you back. Has anybody been in that situation? Raise your hand. I mean, not raise your hand, but no, let me know in the chat room. Oh, True Savage with the right there. Look at True Savage says. What's crazy is that when you operate from the higher mind, sex is the least of your concerns. Correct. Oh, I got stories about that. It's crazy when it's fun. I'm looking for a job, and everybody getting on you. You better get a job. I remember I was in that place. I was looking for a job. The moment I got a job, hey, is this LDA? Yeah, how you doing? Guess what? We want to hire you. I just got hired yesterday. Why? Because you out of the place of need and want. It's your world. You reflecting it. You don't know good. You don't need it, don't want it, and guess it shows up. You've been waiting by the phone. Your unemployment will run out at the end of the month. I've been there. Don't trust me. I've been there. Hello. This is a recording. Your unemployment will run out at the end of the month. Please let us know how many jobs did you apply for. You didn't apply for 3 jobs a day or 2 jobs a day, and you looking in the white pages, the yellow pages. You calling your auntie who got a daycare. Yeah, I applied for the daycare, and the moment you get a job, every job that you want, guess what? Shows up. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you something I haven't been through. I'm telling you stuff I actually live. It was crazy. But this is the principle. It's the principle. When you have it on the inside of you, everything around you will begin to reflect around you. Uh-oh. Now y'all getting the principle what I'm getting at. I used to be in sales, and I know the salesmen were desperate for sales. They actually repel people. Correct. Been there before. Yeah. I'm telling you, this is how it worked. They could sense the desperation. Yeah, that's my point. And y'all think in the game, when we talk about women, money, sex, all that, people can smell when you're desperate. Oh yeah. You like Macho Man. Yeah. I want to get you, girl. You want all that because you're giving off the desperate, I need, I want, somebody better give it to you. The moment you don't need it, don't want it, or you in the place, I already got it, I got more than enough, guess what happens? It shows up in your life. This goes for money, jobs, career, anything you want. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Please understand, it's your world. It's only reflection. It's only reflection what you have or don't have. That's how, let me be very clear and be honest. That's how I got so many women. Because I had the mindset that I already had. I would go LDA of the dark. I don't know if y'all ready for that. I don't know. Can I go a little bit LDA of the dark? A little LDA story time, LDA of the dark. A little LDA of the dark. True Savage pretty much hinted to it, but I'm gonna say it. Proceed. That's why I don't chase sex or get in between a woman's legs. Why would I do that when I'm sexually satisfied? And guess what happens when I was on that trajectory? Floodgates begin to open. Why? Because I was in a place of already get. Already get it. Okay. This is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. I got to stand up for this. This is what I want to hear. I had to walk away from the mic on this. Where my juice? Drinking on, drinking on, drinking on, drinking on some juice. That right there is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. This right here. All right, fam. I'm setting the intention and coming back with a testimony in 30 days. I'm putting this to test. I want everybody in the chat room. This right here. I dare you to test what I just said today. To see y'all can hear the game all day, but you do nothing with it. And so I'll give you 30 days. Come back. See if what I'm talking about works. It ain't game until you use it. Set your intentions that you already have, what you want, and that you're not looking for it. You're not searching for it. You're not trying to step. I got it. I'm good. I'm Gucci, whatever you're going to say. And come back in 30 days and see and put this to test. I dare everyone who's listening to me to put this to test. Put it to test. You think I'm full of it? You think I'm just talking out the side of my neck? LDA don't know what he's talking about. Put what I said to test. Yeah, you won't believe it until you feel it. Yeah. Put it to test. Put it to test. I'm telling you, this is how it you want to know if the game is for real? Anybody can talk to. Wow, wait a minute. Somebody else that came up and sponsored the show. Salute to Jonathan W. Came in, sponsored the show. Thank you for another sponsor of the show. LD salute, LDA, and peace to the family. Let's get back to what my dude said here. All right, fam. He said, I'm setting the intention and coming back with him back with a testimony in 30 days. The governor, yep. Come back in 30 days and see if what I'm saying today, if it don't work. But this the catch. I done gave you all the steps. I done gave you all the clues. I done told you what to do. When you settle that you already have what you want, that you're not looking, you're not trying to, you're not looking for it, you're not trying to fight for it, and what happens is it begins to show up in your life. The problem is a lot of us have not been clear on what we want. I'm RJ. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna hold you to task. 4-1 April Fools. Wow, look at that number. 4124. On April Fools, we're gonna see who's gonna be the Joker. Will RJ be the Joker, or the thinking class be the Joker? Put it to task. I dare you. I want to hear your story time. Don't be trying to make them no stuff. I want to hear your story time. Put what I said to test. It's no need to hear all of this game if you don't do nothing and change your name. When you are convinced that you have it already inside, guess what happened? I'm going to tell you, man. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you another example because y'all don't want to believe me. Just some people don't. I'm not a believer. I'm going to help you believe. Another story time. Last week, I wanted to go salsa dancing. I want to go salsa dancing. But on the website, they were sold out. Pay attention to what I'm putting down. The website on the Instagram said they were sold out. Ain't nothing All right, can you guys hear me now? Let me know in the chat room. Should be able to hear me now. This is crazy. I love it. If you can hear me in the chat room, let me know. Put a number 1 in the chat room if you can hear me now. Good, you guys can hear me good. I had to jump to my jump to my phone, which I love. I don't hey, I'm about that life. Let me give me you guys should be able to hear me good. I gotta tell my story. I ain't gonna let nothing stop me. I don't know what happened to the internet. Internet been jacked up. Cancel. One second. I'm glad y'all still with me. While we figure out what's going on. That's why you always got backup. Boom. Good, good, good. There we go. There we go. There we go. Cancel. Okay, cool. Here we go. There we go. So you can hear me loud and clear. Let me good, good, good. So I'm gonna make sure I get this. And let me see who somebody stream phone. Give it a second to intermission. Yep. Angel number. A message from the I like this. Let's read this. He said angel number 2124 is a message from the divine realm that you should learn to adapt to the changing environments that you are in. Do not be afraid to try new things, and that will evolve you. Oh wow, that's powerful. That is powerful. So let me get back to the story I was going to say. So I wanted to go salsa dancing. And what had happened was there were no tickets. It was sold out. So I went. This was on a Saturday, and an event was on a Saturday. So what I did was, I went on Instagram and I DM the people who were having an event, and they're like, "Oh, we're all sold out." But today happened to be your lucky day. Someone decided not to go. I said, "What?" They said someone decided not to go to the salsa dance. I went, what? We have a ticket for you. You can buy it right now. So I had to go in and buy it. And I said, please show us the receipt that you bought it. I had to buy it on Cash App. And guess what happened? I ended up going salsa dancing. My point is, I was so clear that I was going, that I belonged there, that I wasn't worried about that it was a sold out event. Now let me look what Magic Marcel said. Marcel says, adding to the game, you won't need to believe it. When you know it, you'll know it when you see it internally. Find ways to confirm by shifting the perception. That is powerful right there. Adding to the game, I love it. You won't need to believe it. This is powerful. When you know it. When you know I knew on the inside, I'm gonna be left, right. I'm gonna be. I knew automatically that I was going. I knew I was going. And then he said, "What when you see it internally, that's the key. You have to see that it's already done, that it's already finished on the inside of you." Find ways and this is the other part. I'm going to make an adjustment. Find ways to confirm it by shifting your perspective. So if you wouldn't have to find ways when it's confirmed on the inside of you. Let me say that again. You don't have to find ways to confirm it when it's confirmed on the inside of you. This is all to shift you to understand the real. This is the game people be trying to glamorize and put down. If you don't believe what I'm saying, test it out. Test it out. Even this hat I got. Shout out to the hat giver. This hat. I seen the hat, but I didn't know what I was going to wear with it. What did it do? It showed up on what? Christmas Day. So I want you to really get what I'm saying today. Let me get this right here. Yep. I want you to really pick up what I'm saying. The game is not complicated. Is this not revealed to everyone? I want you to get this. When you are settled on the inside that you already have, which you have, Guess what happens? No matter what the market says, no matter what anyone else says, it has to show up. I want to make sure I get this. I don't want nobody doing this. Don't think you just gonna sit in a lotus position or you're gonna be you just sitting around looking like a monk. No, you're gonna have to do God. You're gonna have to do some things to keep things rolling. Don't be saying, "Well, LDA, man, I quit my job. I'm believing. I see it at the inside. I got it all." No, 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 no. Don't you dare do that. Don't be a fool around here. That ain't the game. I don't care what they tell you. That ain't the game. Don't you go around there. Well, ODA said I just need to go. I just need to say a prayer. I need to meditate. No, what I am saying is go out the rest of your day, do what you're doing, and come into the place that you already have, what you believe that you have, that you know you have. Let me say it again. You already know what you exactly have. I don't know what happened to my internet. Internet just went out. Somebody might have knocked something off or whatever the case may be. So I had to jump off of that. But I want you to really get this. It's your world. Who and what are you bringing it into your world? Now, I was going to do the LD of the dark. I'll say this. I will do this. I'm trying to debate if I do the LD. Pretty much is this. This goes with money. This goes for anything else in your life. This goes for anything else in your life. The moment you decide that you already have it, that you're not looking for it, this is the key. RJ, if you're still listening, this is the key to the game. And y'all hear it all the time, but you don't apply it to all of your life. Don't put what you want, don't put what you want on a pedestal. The moment I took the salsa dancing or the job off of the pedestal, it showed up. Do not put what you want to see or want to experience on a pedestal. Y'all know that not to put women on the pedestal. You already know that. But don't whatever you want to see happen in your life, do not put it on this pedestal. Let me say that again, because most people miss this point. Do not put the moment you put it on the pedestal in your life and you begin to worship it, that's idolatry, first of all. Second of all, you making it more important than you and you making it more important than God. Don't put whatever it is, I don't care what it is, money, sex, women, drug, whatever, don't put nothing on a pedestal. This is how you handle it. You handle it with kitten gloves. What you do is, it happens, it happens. This is the reason why some things don't show up in people's lives and things will happen is because things will happen for them. It's because they put what they desire or what they want on a pedestal. It gotta happen. It better happen. If it don't happen, I'm gonna go crazy. It's November. It's March 30th, and nothing showed up yet. All right, did you put it on the pedestal? This is the reason why people don't get prayers answers or things don't show up and happen in their life because they put things on a pedestal. If I don't get this job, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The moment you take it up the pedestal, it shows up. Second thing is when you're trying to figure out how it's going to happen. That ain't your job to figure out how it's going to happen, and you don't put it on the pedestal. I cannot emphasize that any greater. I cannot even emphasize how important that is. Do not put anything on a pedestal in your life that you want to see in your life. Not a person, not a thing, not a woman, not a car, do not put nothing on the pedestal. What you do is think about it. If you have something, why would you put it on the pedestal? Why would you make it that? Anything that you make that important, you're going to push it away. So don't put anything on this is the real. I'm here to tell you. I'm trying to get you to elevate and put to task what I'm talking about. This is the real game. Don't put it on the pedestal. The reason why some women I can't find a man because you put that man on the pedestal. The reason why you ain't find that girl, whatever the case may be, you put it on the pedestal. The reason why I need bread, man, I need money. You put the money on the pedestal. The moment you take it off of the pedestal, you why would you put something on? I'm gonna say this again. Why would you put something on the pedestal that you already have? Some of y'all put the game on the pedestal and realizing that it's not working for you. Then you get mad, man. This stuff don't work, man. You a charlatan. This ain't right, man. You don't know what you talking about. I did everything you said do. You put it on the pedestal. Second of all, you try to make it work for you. The how is none of your business. The how it's going to take place is none of your freaking business. When you realize that, you walk through life, you get inspiration on actions that you need to take. Now, Spectrum sending me that, oh, our power hours went. Hey, man, I already jumped on 4:30. I'm already on the move. I want you to really get that. You would say, I don't know why I need to call this person. Boom, that's a connect you need. I don't know why I need to walk down this street. I don't know why I'm driving over here. I don't know why I go to this store. I operate like this all the time. This is the real game. I walk in the thing, I'm already loved. I already have love. I already think I'm good looking. I'm already think I'm the prize. Guess what happens? Everything begins to reflect that, but I'm not putting that on the pedestal. I'm not trying to figure out how it's going to happen. If I can tell you how many times I put something, like you said, like RJ said, I put it in, set my attention, and I want to see if this is going to work. Test what I'm saying. I did that. I wanted to meet somebody. So the first thing I had to do is to be very clear on what I wanted to happen. Once I did that, I took it off of the pedestal. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. What happened? What happened the next day? I end up running right into that person. I'm already, I'm already the sugar honey iced tea. Toast, cheers to that. Once you realize this is how you operate in the game, then you won't be a lame, and then you won't be trying to, I gotta get this, figure this out. You've been working in the wrong vineyard. You've been working in your external vineyard and not working on the internal vineyard. I'm not saying that you don't, this is powerful. I'm not saying that you don't need to dress. That's why I'm dressed like this. I'm showing you how a grown man dress, how a grown man wear a hat, how a grown man got his collars, white shirt on, watch on, bracelet on. This is how a grown man moves. So don't think I'm giving you the right image. You said, this is powerful. This is powerful. You made me start to write. This is powerful. This is powerful. Made me start writing to take some of my moves off the pedestal today. Yeah. Sometimes we got too many things on the pedestal. He's like, you're so wanted to work. It gotta happen. If it don't happen, I ain't gonna win. Take it off the pedestal. Y'all got to kick it off the pedestal. Take it off the pedestal. I'm like, nah, I wonder if this happens if I do that. Okay, that ain't gonna work. Yeah. Y'all got women you want to be with, cars that you want on the pedestal. I can't find that car. The moment you take it off the pedestal, it'll show up. Think about it. The moment you stop looking for the job and you take it off the pedestal, like, man, something gonna show up. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. Guess what happened? Job opens up. It's your world. You're constantly reflecting to yourself. It's the moment you take it off the problem is most people, even you church people who listen in the clouds, you got your prayer request and what you want to happen on the pedestal. And you're wondering why it's not happening for you. You got it on the pedestal. You up there worshiping it. It gotta show up, it gotta happen. If it don't happen, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Boo boo, let me help you. Take it off the pedestal. The moment you uttered it, it was already. Let me say it this way. Say it the correct way. The moment that you desired it, it was already yours. Let me say it. Let's say it again. The moment you desired it, it was already yours. The moment that you desired whatever it is, it was yours. All you got to do is what? Say, "Yep, I got it." But the biggest thing is take it off the pedestal. It got to happen today, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's a classic story about Oprah Winfrey. She was going for the movie Color Purple. I don't care what you think about Oprah Winfrey or whatever the case may be. Listen to the story. She wanted to be a part of Color Purple, so she was out. She did her readings for it. She went to the screening for it, and she felt that she was not. She was too heavy for the role. So she was out there at the track with her tracksuit on, bag on her head, out there jogging on the track field. Say, God, I really want this. I really want this be a part of Color Purple. I really want it. I gotta have it. This gotta happen. She up there sweating, out there jogging. Then finally she remembered a song when she was younger from the church. It says, "I surrender all." The moment that she surrendered it, she'll tell you, go look up this story if you think I'm playing and hear it from her. The moment she said, "I surrender all to you, I all." The moment she surrendered being part of the Color Purple, she got a call that she got the part and not to lose weight. Harpo, who's that? Harpo, who is that? She got the part and was told not to lose weight. Do you understand the game? Do you understand how powerful you really are when you take it off of the pedestal and realize, I got this. Don't worry about it. I want to thank the sponsors of the show today, my boy Chill and Jonathan W. for sponsoring the show today. Thank you for being sponsors of the Thinking Class. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have sponsored the show today. You showed your appreciation for what was said. I thank you. Thank you to all the sponsors of the show. If you have not sponsored the show already, this is a good opportunity to be a sponsor of the show. We thank the two sponsors of today's show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me see. We are caught up with all the comments. While my internet service has definitely just went out. Thank for technology, I was able to do what I need to do 1 year ago. Okay. So, yep. If you got something from what I said, this is the perfect opportunity. Leave in the comments when this ends. All I want you to do is put in it when this broadcast ends, put in the comments for the algorithm. And those who gave, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's my world. When this ends, I want you to put in the comments underneath this video, it's my world. And make sure I got everybody on the same page. When this video ends, which is about to end in a few seconds, I want you to put under the comments, "It's my world." We need to see at least 12 of y'all put "It's my world" in the comments. It's my world. When you understand it, you'll get it. This is Lawrence D. Adams. I hope I helped somebody out. Hope you guys enjoy the stories. We'll be back next Friday. Hopefully my internet won't go out. Thank God for a backup. But I hope you enjoy what I shared today. This is when spirituality and the game combines as the thinking class. Shout out to everyone. Take everything off the pedestal. It's already done. It's your world. Oh man, I can't even get to my music. They even in it. Wow, that's crazy. Let me see. Yep, I can't even get to it. But with that being said, I am out. Thanks again. It's my world. It's your world. Put that at the end. This is Lawrence D. Adams. I'm out.